My beloved child, to enter the fullness of the path I have appointed for you, the first thing you must learn is to release what is past. You cannot hold tightly to old wounds while expecting your hands to be wide enough to receive new healing. You cannot keep memories that weigh your heart down and still hope to step into a brighter, freer, and more peaceful chapter of life. If you want to soar, you must let the stones fall from your hands. If you want to go far, you must untie from your feet the invisible cords that have held you back for too long. I see those chains within you. Regret, unnamed fears, words that once wounded you, failures you keep revisiting in silence. But my child, those things are not your identity. They are only dust along the journey, not the name I have placed upon your life. Today, I speak gently to you. It is time to lay them down at my feet. True freedom does not come from pretending you were never hurt, nor from burying everything so deeply that others think you are strong. Freedom begins when you courageously bring what is still bleeding within you into my light. I do not demand that you stand tall while your heart is trembling. I do not force you to smile while old wounds are still aching. I only invite you to come near, with all your truth, so that I may embrace the weary part you have hidden for too long. You no longer need to be strong in loneliness, because I myself am your strength. You do not need to heal yourself through exhausting effort, because my hand can touch the deepest place and bring a rest the world cannot give. The messengers I send are also gently guiding you back to that place, where you can breathe out your burdens and breathe in peace. Perhaps you once believed that your wounds had diminished your worth. Perhaps you looked at your losses and thought you were no longer whole, no longer worthy, no longer able to begin again. But I want you to hear clearly, no wound has the right to define you. You are defined by my love, by my calling, by the unchanging mercy I have for you. The past is not the final sentence over your life. In my hands, even lands that were once barren can become places where new seeds are sown. A seed lying in the soil may seem buried, but in that very darkness, life quietly awakens. In the same way, the broken places within you are not the ending. They can become the beginning of a deeper season of restoration, where you understand grace not as theory, but as the lived experience of being lifted from the very place where you once fell. Healing does not always happen in one dazzling moment. Often, it is a gentle journey, layer by layer, step by step. It begins when you agree to release what has made you tired. When you lay it down, I begin to lift you up. When you stop protecting pain as though it were part of who you are, I begin to touch it with love. When you no longer try to appear all right before everyone, I begin to teach you how to live truthfully in peace. You will see old chains being removed, dark corners being illuminated, scars no longer reminding you of shame, but becoming marks of overcoming. The help I place around you will be like soothing oil upon painful places, like cool water in a dry day, like a reminder that you were never meant to walk alone. But my beloved child, remember that healing cannot grow in soil that still nourishes bitterness. Bitterness is like a poisonous root sinking deep into the heart, quietly draining tenderness, drying up joy, and causing you to see life through a heavy veil. I do not ask you to forgive in order to deny what happened. I do not ask you to minimize the pain or call what was wrong right. Forgiveness is giving back to me the right to handle what you cannot carry by yourself. Forgiveness is opening the prison door in which you unknowingly became confined. Forgiveness is deciding not to let the one who hurt you continue controlling your today. When you forgive, you do not lose justice. You place justice in the hands of the righteous one. And in that moment, my peace has room to overflow, replacing what had caused you to wither. I know letting go is not easy. Some memories cling very deeply. Some words still echo long after they were spoken, and some losses make you think your heart will never feel light again. But my love is greater than all your pain. My grace does not run dry when you are weak. My restoring power is not blocked by the past. What I wait for from you is not a performance of strength, but a quiet yes, yes. To let me enter, yes. To let me touch, yes. To let me untangle what you have grown used to carrying. Imagine yourself standing beside a clear river, holding heavy stones in your hands, guilt, fear, regret, hurt. I invite you to drop each stone into the river of grace. As they sink, your hands will grow lighter, your chest will feel freer, and your eyes will begin to see a wider sky. And when you lay down the old, I do not leave you empty. I will sow something new within you. After weeds are pulled from a garden, the gardener does not leave the soil barren. He plants good seed, waters it, and waits for life to rise. I will do the same within you. I will replace fear with peace, bitterness with kindness, confusion with clarity, weariness with gentle joy. You will feel your inner life gradually expand like a field revived after rain. A long night does not prove the sun has disappeared. It only announces that dawn is arriving at the appointed hour. So be patient with your process. Do not lose heart when healing comes slowly. Each time you choose to let go, you take one more step toward freedom. Right now, as your heart becomes lighter, another door also opens before you, the door of clarity. When bitterness no longer covers you and fear no longer holds you tightly, your inner vision begins to become clear again. There were things you could not recognize before because your heart was heavy. But when peace returns, you will see more clearly the path I have placed before you. Clarity is not only knowing what is right and what is wrong. It is the ability to recognize what brings life and what draws you away from the light. What comes from truth and what is only a false call, dressed in attraction. The world may offer many arguments, many noises, many directions, but the light I give you will be gentle, pure, and accompanied by peace. It will not always reveal the entire long road, but it will shine enough for the step you need to take today. Do not be afraid if you do not yet understand everything. I do not always give you the full map, but I always give you the lamp for each step. It is in taking those steps that you learn to trust me more deeply. If everything were clear from the beginning, you would easily lean on your own control. But because I love you, I teach you to live in healthy dependence, to pause, to listen, to ask me better before rushing ahead. Clarity will also help you see yourself, hidden motives, old fears, and patterns that need to be changed. Do not fear when truth is brought to light. The light does not come to shame you. It comes to free you from what no longer belongs in the new season. Together with clarity, I also want you to step into the sacred protection I have prepared. As you move closer to what I have appointed, darkness will try to sow doubt, fear, and unrest. It will whisper that you are alone, that you are not strong enough, that you will fail. But I say to you, you are covered in my hand. My protection is not only a wall that keeps danger away, but an embrace that holds you in peace, even in the middle of storms. There are traps you did not see, but I broke them before they touched you. There were arrows you never noticed, but my grace shielded you. You are still standing today, not because you have always been strong, but because I have kept you through seasons when you thought you could not endure. That protection does not mean you will never face trials, but it assures you that trials do not have the right to destroy you. There will be times when you pass through fire, but I will be in the fire with you. There will be times when waves roar around you, but within you, there will still be a place of peace no one can take away. There will be times when lies try to pierce your mind, but my truth will become armor covering you. Remain in me, like one taking shelter under a firm roof during heavy rain. You do not need to block every wind by yourself. You only need to stay in the refuge I provide. And from that place, you will learn to stand firm, not by lonely effort, but by the protection of the one whose love for you never changes. Therefore, my beloved child, walk with courage, lay down the past, receive healing, take hold of clarity, and stand firm in my protection. Do not let old memories keep your head bowed forever. Do not let fear make you doubt the light that has been placed within you. Do not let darkness persuade you that you are unsafe. I am near. My messengers surround you, and you are being led into a new season, not to tremble, but to mature. Every step you take in the light will bring you closer to the destiny I prepared beforehand. And when you look back, you will see that what once weighed down your heart became the place where I revealed mercy. What once clouded your vision became a doorway to clarity. And what once frightened you became proof that my protection has always covered you. My beloved child, I do not call you to continue by your own strength, but by trusting in me. Before you can enter the new things I have prepared, you must learn to lay down what has held you back. You cannot keep gripping painful memories and still expect your heart to lightly receive healing. You cannot allow old failures to keep whispering definitions over you while hoping to step into a future full of light. If you want to fly high, you must let the burdens fall from your wings. I see the invisible cords that have wrapped around you over the years. Regret, words that wounded you, fear of the old thing repeating itself, mistakes you keep blaming yourself for, and even memories you thought you had forgotten, but that still quietly pull you backward. Today, I call you near and say to you with love, it is time to lay them down before me. My child, true freedom does not come from trying to appear all right, nor from covering every wound so others will think you are strong. Freedom begins when you dare to bring your most vulnerable places into my light. I do not require you to come before me with a perfect appearance. I do not love you less because you are still trembling, still tired, still carrying things you cannot yet put into words. For many seasons, you may have been silent to protect yourself, hidden tears behind a smile, and carried burdens on your shoulders that no one knew about. But my beloved child, you no longer need to be strong in loneliness. I am your resting place. I am the embrace where you can lay down every burden. I am the peace that no success, no relationship, and no recognition from the world can replace. There are wounds that made you mistakenly believe your value had been reduced. There are losses that made you think your life had been narrowed forever. There are broken places that made you wonder whether you could ever become whole in a new way. But I say to you that no wound has the right to name you. No dark season has the right to write your final chapter. No failure can erase the love I placed upon you before you even knew how to name yourself. You are defined by my enduring love, by the restoration I am working, by the hope I still sow in places you thought had run dry. The past is no longer a sentence hanging over your life. In my hands, it can become soil turned over so that new seeds may sprout. Healing does not always happen in one radiant moment where all pain disappears at once. Often, healing is a gentle journey, one day at a time, one layer at a time, one small step at a time. It begins with your decision not to keep holding what is suffocating you. When you lay down one burden, I begin touching something deeper within you. When you stop hiding one wound, my light begins to shine there. When you dare to tell me truthfully that you still hurt, I do not rebuke you, I bend down, pour the oil of mercy, and make the place that once ached gradually become tender again. The people I bring beside you may also become hands of support, voices reminding you not to give up, small lamps helping you remember that you do not have to pass through this journey alone. But you need to understand that healing will be delayed if you continue to nourish bitterness. Bitterness is like a poisonous seed that quietly falls into the soil of the heart. At first, it is very small, but if you keep it, it will take root, spread, and choke the good sprouts of life. I do not ask you to deny what happened. I do not ask you to call wrong right, nor to minimize what wounded you. I only invite you to give back to me the right to judge and the burden of revenge. Forgiveness is not opening the door for others to continue hurting you. Forgiveness is opening the prison door so that you yourself may walk out. When you forgive, you do not lose justice. You place justice in the hands of the one who sees all things. And when you do this, my peace has room to overflow into the place once occupied by resentment. I know that letting go is not easy. Some memories have sunk deep like old roots. Some words tighten your heart just by being remembered. Some seasons of life you tried to forget, yet only one sound, one place, one face can make everything return. I do not rush you with harshness. I do not pull you faster than your heart can bear. I walk with you in the patience of a father. What I wait for from you is not perfect strength, but a small yet sincere agreement. Agreement to let me enter. Agreement to let me touch the place you once locked away. Agreement to let me loosen each knot you cannot untie on your own. When you give me that agreement, the river of peace will begin to flow, carrying away each heavy stone you have held for too long. Imagine yourself standing beside a clear stream. In your hands are stones named regret, fear, shame, resentment, and sorrow. Each stone has tired your hands, weighed down your shoulders, and slowed your steps. I do not snatch them from your hands. I stand there and invite you to drop each one into the river of grace. When the first stone falls, you may not feel completely light yet, but then the second, the third, one thing after another is released, and you begin to sense that your hands are no longer imprisoned by the past. It is in this gradual letting go that you will learn how to breathe again. You will realize that freedom is not a distant idea, but something I am truly working within you. Even so, healing is not only leaving the old behind, it is also opening your heart to the new. After a gardener pulls up weeds, he does not leave the soil empty forever, but plants good seeds there. I do the same. I do not only remove chains from you and leave you hollow. I sow into you peace, hope, patience, joy, clarity, and courage. You will feel your heart slowly become less heavy, like soil after rain, softening and ready to receive a new season. What I sow in you will not die if you continue to remain in my care. You may not see the harvest today, but the seed is alive. The roots are going deep, and the time of blossoming will come at the hour I have appointed. Then, as your heart is freed from the mist of bitterness and fear, clarity will begin to rise. You will see things that were previously hidden. You will recognize which voice leads to life and which voice only makes you more confused. You will understand that not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every invitation comes from me, and not every easy road is a road of peace. The clarity I give is not loud, does not boast, and does not make you arrogant. It comes like a gentle lamp, bright enough for today's step. It will not always show you the entire journey, but it will give you enough light so you do not lose your way in the present moment. You once wished I would give you a detailed map of your whole life, but I often give you a lamp. A map can make you think you can walk on your own without listening anymore. A lamp teaches you to trust, step by step. When you take one step in obedience, the light will shine upon the next. When you are faithful with small things, I will gradually open understanding for greater things. Do not compare the light I give you with the light I give someone else. Your path has its own rhythm, its own season, and its own lesson. I am not late with you. I know exactly what you need, at what moment, and in what way to keep your heart steady. Clarity will also shine into you, not to shame you, but to make you freer. Sometimes my light will show you motives that are not yet pure, hidden fears, old habits still pulling you back to familiar patterns. At first, that truth may make you uncomfortable, but my beloved child, what is brought into the light is what can be healed. If you do not see the stain, you will not know it needs washing. If you do not recognize the cord, you will not know it needs to be untied. I do not expose in order to condemn you. I shine light in order to set you free. So you may choose what is higher, purer, more life-giving, and closer to me. And as you begin to walk closer to the destiny I have appointed, you must also know that you are covered by my sacred protection. The enemy will not rejoice when you release the chains. It will try to sow doubt, create noise, stir up old fears, and make you believe you are still alone and not strong enough. But I say to you, you do not stand alone on the battlefield. My protection is not only a fence keeping danger away, it is my embrace around you, my shade covering you, my presence keeping within you a place of peace that cannot be invaded. Storms may rise around you, but your center is held in me. There were dangers you never knew you passed through, because I kept them from touching you. There were traps laid out, but I broke them before your foot stepped in. There were lies aimed at your heart, but many times I reminded you of the truth so you would not be swallowed by confusion. My protection does not mean you will never face a trial. It means the trial has no right to destroy you while you are in my hands. There are fires that are permitted only to refine, not to consume. There are winds that are permitted only to make your roots grow deeper, not to uproot you from my love. My beloved child, do not let your heart tremble. Step into the journey of healing with gentle courage. Release what is past. Receive light for today, and rest in the protection I have for you. Each moment you choose to lay down a burden is a moment you move closer to freedom. Each decision you make with clarity is a step nearer to the destiny I have prepared. Each time you take refuge in me instead of fear, you learn that I truly am the one who keeps you. You are no longer the one imprisoned by the past, no longer the one groping through the fog, no longer the one exposed before the storm. You are loved, guided, protected, and called to walk in my light. My beloved child, do not forget that the most powerful weapon I place in your hands is not bodily strength, not human intelligence, nor the ability to maneuver through circumstances, but prayer itself. When you pray, you are not merely speaking words toward heaven, you are opening your heart for my power to work, inviting my light into places of chaos, building a spiritual wall around your family, your community, and those you love. Never underestimate the moment you bow your head before me, because there are battles not decided by outward noise, but settled in the hidden place, where a heart that depends on me perseveres in calling out. My child, my name carries power above every other name, not as an empty sound, but as the seal of holy authority. When you call upon me in faith, you are not merely mentioning a title, you are placing your trust in the one who reigns over all things, the one who can break chains, dispel fear, open closed doors, and bring light into places once covered by darkness. Therefore, do not tremble before the things that unsettle you. Do not think darkness is greater than light. A room may have been dark for a long time, but once light enters, darkness no longer has the same right to remain. When you are in me, you do not pray as one abandoned, but as a child heard, protected, and upheld by the Father. I want you to learn perseverance in this battle, because not every prayer shows its fruit immediately before your eyes. There may be times when you pray for many days, many months, even many years, and circumstances still seem unchanged. You may wonder whether I hear, whether I am acting, whether this waiting is meaningless. But my child, I hear every word you speak. I see every tear you hide, and I act according to my wisdom. Delay is not proof that I am absent. Sometimes it is a sign that I am working more deeply than you think, arranging what you have not yet seen, and forming within you a faith that does not depend on instant results. Remember that the faithful ones before you did not walk an easy road. They waited in dark places, were misunderstood, stood before promises while circumstances said the opposite. Yet they did not let go of me, because they knew what I spoke could not be made void by time. You also must not give up simply because you have not yet seen the green shoot breaking through the soil. A seed must be covered in the earth before it grows into a tree. Your faith must also be nourished through perseverance before it blossoms in the season I have appointed. Keep praying. Keep standing firm. Keep trusting, because what I have begun, I have the power to complete. Therefore, do not wait until the storm comes before seeking shelter. Build your life in me starting today. Each day, let prayer become your breath. Let my truth become your foundation, and let your heart be guarded from fear, bitterness, and voices that draw you away from peace. Inner strength is not formed in one rushed moment, but through repeated faithfulness each day. A morning when you turn your heart toward me, a decision you bring before me before taking a step, a time you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, a moment you pause to listen instead of reacting hastily. These small things, when offered to me, will become armor protecting you in seasons of shaking. My beloved child, the upheavals you see in the world are not beyond my reach. The systems people build, the foundations they once took pride in, the powers they thought could never be shaken, all of them will one day reveal their fragility. What is built on pride will not stand forever. What is founded on ambition, injustice, and self-satisfaction will be tested by time. I do not say this to make you afraid, but to awaken you. When the world shakes, those who belong to me must not live as the lost, but stand firm as those who know they are placed upon an unchanging rock. History has shown you many times that kingdoms once thought glorious eventually faded. Fortresses once thought untouchable became memories, and powers that once made people tremble were covered by the dust of time. Humanity can build high, accumulate much, and place trust in money, technology, reputation, and influence, but without me, all is like grass in the field, green in the morning and withered by evening. Therefore, when you see economies trembling, rumors of war increasing, hearts growing restless, and disasters and hardship causing many to panic, do not run after the fear of the crowd. Return to me, because true safety is not found in what the world holds, but in my hand. Every shaking has a purpose of awakening. It reveals what is temporary and what is enduring. It causes people to realize that the places they once trusted cannot save them from the emptiness within. And in such times, the light within you must be kindled even more. When others lose peace, your peace will become a testimony. When others are confused, your faith will become a sign. When they no longer know what to hold on to, Point them back to me, not with arrogance, but through a humble, steady life full of love and truth. You are not called to curse the darkness, but to shine within it. Do not let chaos make you tremble, for my kingdom is not shaken by the changes of the age. When everything around you changes, I remain the one who does not change. When noise increases, my word is still the gentle voice that guides. When many run after temporary shelters, anchor your heart in me. Do not cling to me with one hand while gripping the world with the other, as though both can save you. The world can promise much, but it cannot keep you forever. I am the true refuge, the true foundation, the unfailing source of peace amid every great wave. Therefore, when the world shakes, do not bow your head in fear, but lift it in faith. Pray as one who knows they are not alone. Stand firm as one who belongs to an unshakable foundation. Live awake, loving, pure, and faithful. Storms may rise, but they have no authority to erase my promise. Darkness may grow thick, but it cannot overcome the light I have placed within you. Let your life become a testimony that in unstable days, there is still a secure refuge amid systems that are trembling. There is still an eternal kingdom, and above every noise of the world, my voice is still calling you to walk in peace, courage, and victory.